Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of It's Personal.
The last book I wrote was heavy.
All right. Hey, Gary. This is the boy.
My name is Randy Rebine.
But my name is GaryRGrayJr.
I don't think I'm a person that curses a lot.
Heart just goes out to educators. I'm excited.
Awesome.
Hi.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of It's Personal. I'm super excited for our guest today. Do you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah, my name is Elise Bryant, and I am the author of Happily Ever Afters, which just came out on January 5th.
I'm so excited to talk to you for a variety of reasons, as I just mentioned before we press record. Can you just tell us a little bit about the book in itself? Because I think it is so amazing.
Oh, thank you. So Happily Ever Afters is a YA rom-com, and it's about a 16-year-old romance writer who has never really seen herself in the fluffy, swoony love stories she likes to read, and so she writes them herself. And when she's hit with this case of writer's block, her best friend comes up with an 11-step plan to make Tessa's life into one of the romance stories she used to write in order to help her refill the well and get inspiration again.
Love it. Love it. And one thing I just want to add without saying anything really about the book, because I want people to go out and buy it, is that your craft is like on point.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
I absolutely love the way you write. And I think this is your first novel, correct?
Yeah.
My other question is just how does it feel to be a debut author during this time? And what are some of the highs and lows that you might have gone through during that process?
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't gone at all how I thought it would, obviously, because I sold the book in the beginning of 2019. And so, you know, I had all these dreams of a tour and, you know, a big launch party with like my friends and family, and even meeting my editor in person. I thought maybe that would be something that could happen. And so obviously that's not the case at all. I remember back when it first started, I thought, oh yeah, for sure by January, you know, everything will be back to normal. And obviously, I mean, there's just no normal anymore. This is our normal now. So, I mean, but there have been still a lot of highs. Like I've been really just overwhelmed with how kind everyone in the industry has been. Like there have been so many people that have still reached out to me and, you know, giving me advice and helping me to, or blurbing my book, helping me to launch the book. Like all of these authors who like were my heroes, you know, and they have been so wonderful throughout this whole process. So I guess the high is like that I'm still creating this community that I thought that was going to be taken away, you know, with everything being shut down. But I've been able to connect with so many people.
Congratulations. I'm so excited for you.
Thank you.
For whatever is next as well. I think it's hard and unfortunate that people often think of what's next after something that has that's so beautiful has just come out. But again, looking at your writing and the work that you've done with this book, the sky is the limit. So I'm super excited for you. Really, really excited.
Thank you. And you know, my head, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say my head is already in the next books too, because, you know, I wrote this a while ago. And so to get into promo mode, I had to be like, well, what happened in the story again? Like, you know, because my brain is in book 2, which we're revising, in book 3, which I'm drafting right now. So I like talking about what's next too, because that's what I'm so excited about right now.
That's so exciting. And I think that's so cool too. And I think it's just to get inside of an author's brain is interesting because everyone has a different process. And I think everyone who's brought in books into the world during this time, their process has changed a little bit and their mindset has changed a little bit just based on the situation. So congratulations on that. And congratulations on just like the Zoom calls and talking to me and everything else that has been so untraditional for a debut author. You are rocking it out. So congratulations again.
Thank you. I mean, it's all fake. I'm I'm the most like in real life, I'm the most like reserved person. And it's yeah, I can fake it for a little while during the interview.
Can you tell us a little bit about you as a kid, and what did maybe writing look like for you? What does schooling look like you for a kid?
Yeah, I was a very quiet, reserved, anxious kid. And because of that, you know, like books and writing, that was everything to me because um, you know, friendships and interactions with other kids, like that brought me so much anxiety. And so um, escaping into other worlds was such a comfort for me because I didn't have to like, you know, worry about if I was saying the wrong thing or not doing things the way I was supposed to, you know, because it was anything could happen in the world of books, you know. So yeah, I mean, I read so much from a very young age, and I started writing very young too. And probably as early as like I think second or third grade, I was already saying I wanted to be an author. That was like my dream career.
That's awesome. And you have a partner who's an educator.
And I'm a former teacher too. I
And a
taught
former
high school.
teacher.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. And I thought I heard you mention that you have a daughter.
I have two daughters. I have an 8-year-old.
daughters.
So yeah, she's in third grade. And then I have a 5-year-old also. Who's in
Wow.
preschool.
Let's talk about them for a little bit. How
Yeah.
are they doing in during this time? I think it's so cool that they have two educators in the family. So I'm sure you're smothering them with books as much as possible.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't even have to. They, especially my older daughter, like she's just like how I was as a kid. You know, she has a book with her at all times. She's always like when she's eating her meals, when she's going to the bathroom, when she's like walking around the block, she has her book with her always. So that's been really cool to like see her. Yeah, just, you know, fall in love with books just like I did. And she, the whole thing with me being an author right now, like she really sees it as like her opportunity to like get in with her favorite author.
I love
like
it.
she thinks it's cool. Like she only thinks my job is cool when like other authors that she loves like acknowledge me. Like one time Kwame Mbalia like posted my book online and she was like, oh, like you're big time now. Or you know the book Amari and the Night Brothers that's coming out by B.D. Alston. So that book, we got an early copy because we're at the same publisher, and it was like, you know, like all of the perks that she gets now because I'm an author.
I love it. Kids are so funny. They're so funny. I think that is cool because she's watching your process as well. And I guess my question is like, how much of you being a writer, being an educator, has been something that has does it run in your family at all in regards to the education and the writing? Or is it something that you just kind of grew to love and enjoy?
As far as the writing, I'm the first person that's really sought out, has been a writer or sought out publication. It's something that I think my parents, they always encouraged me when I was growing up. Like they sent me to writers camps in the summer and everything, but it's not something that we understood as like a career that you could actually have, you know, which I'm still trying to wrap my brain around too, because, you know, growing up, it was very much like, do what's practical, you know, like get a career that you can, like teaching, which is what I did for so long, like a career that you can have into retirement. You know, you're never going to lose that job. You're going to have, you know, it's going to be stable. And that was very much like what my parents wanted for me, you know. And my mom was a teacher. She's not anymore, but she was for many years. She was a special education teacher, just like I was. So that definitely runs in my family. Just the desire to help other people, to bring good to our community. That's definitely something I learned from my parents, and something I'm teaching my kids now because I want them to do that too.
I love it. I love it. And can you share with us, because I again heard you talk about your husband, what are some things you guys love to do for fun? I know it's hard right now during COVID times, but what do you guys do for fun? I'm sure you're trying to be super creative, so I'm interested in that as well.
Well, I don't know. It's been hard with two little kids. Like we're never.
Or even if it's together, even if it's with them.
Yeah, because we wake up in the morning and we just go until bedtime because we have no, childcare now. But as a family, we really love going to the beach. That's been like the biggest gift during this time, especially now that it's like winter and all the tourists are gone. Like we just go and sit on the beach and for a little while. We all we love reading. I know that's kind of, I don't know, that's fun to other people, but we sit and we all have our books and we read together. Yeah, those are the two biggest things for our family right now.
I love that. And I think it builds a culture of reading, a culture of literacy, which we know as educators that is really, really important. And some kids don't get that, right? So to have that, I think for kids to watch other adults reading is so important. I don't think they see that enough. In class, I read with my students all the time, and we have reading time. If I'm not trying to confer with them, like I make sure once or twice a week, like they're actually watching me like read the books, not necessarily to them, but like my own books for pleasure as well. Because it shows them that like we like to read as well. We're not just reading to you all the time. So I think that's a great hobby.
And I did the same thing in my classroom too. Like that's how I discovered the world of YA now. Is I taught high school, and so I would be picking out books for my kids, but also reading them myself. Like you said, just to show that this is something that is a fun thing to do. It's not just, sit and read this boring book, but find one that brings you joy. Yeah.
Totally. And because we're in COVID times as well, I guess, I think my other question is, who's doing the cooking at home now? Because you're both super busy.
Well, I've never done the cooking ever. Even before this, I don't know, growing up, my dad did all the cooking and most of the cleaning too. And my mom didn't do that. And so I never really learned how to cook. And my husband, he's taken that on. He makes dinner almost every night, and the other nights we get takeout.
I love it. What would you say his best dish is? Does he have a best dish that he's able to make?
I think the thing that we all like the most is pizza. We have a lot of pizza nights where we each pick our own toppings. We'll put those on there.
So good.
That's the most fun thing. Yeah.
I think that's so good because I think also it sounds like that pizza night or that able to pick your own. It sounds like it's almost like a tradition that you've kind of built within your family as well. So I'm assuming the kids look forward to it and get super excited about it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love that.
Things have been busy, so the pizza nights are easy for us.
Yeah, and I think that's okay. I think that's so important, especially during these times where you find ways to make things efficient. You find places within your life where you can squeeze a little bit more. It's just normal. I think it's so normal to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about your process as a writer in regards to building your stories? What does that look like when you're starting something new on paper, whether it's Story Mountain, whether it's jotting ideas? What does that look like for you?
Well, I'm a big dreamer. In the early stages, before I even put anything on paper, I spend months just thinking of funny things that people can say and these little details about each character. And I start in the notes app on my phone. I just write down every little thing that comes to me, and I have different sections for each book that one I might write next, or one I'm thinking 3 books from now. So months of just writing these little details down. And then when that starts to get really full and overwhelming, then I get a notebook for each project, and I start to I usually outline in a notebook. And when I wrote Happily Ever Afters, I actually had never read a craft book before. I kind of just I don't know, wrote the book that I wanted to read. But since then I've been reading craft books, and so It focuses on writing romance novels. And so I try and outline from there. And then once I have a full notebook, like it's complete from front to back, that's when I'll take it into Scrivener, which is the writing program that I use. And I'll put out I'll block out each chapter. And then that's when I finally draft. So that early phase takes like months and months and months, but my drafting takes about like 3 months. Yeah, so that's where I am right now.
Wow, I love listening to that, and it makes sense because as a teacher, again, you love to hear authors talking about the drafting phase and how drafting is a long process.
Yeah.
For kids, kids like teaching third grade, it's really hard to ask kids to continue to look at a draft or to revise their piece because they just want to be done. So hearing an author say that is really, really nice. Maybe I'll take this recording and I'll show it to my kids and be like, here you go.
But I get it too. I just want to be done too. Like revising is my least favorite part of the process. And it was a very steep learning curve to learn how to revise because I had never gotten an edit letter or gone through that process before, so it was tough because you know when you're drafting there's so much possibility of what the book can be, and then when you're revising it's like, no, this is what you wrote, now you got to fix it.
Yeah, I can only imagine what the editing process looks like because your editor is there to help guide you, help make you think about things, and that's their profession. So I'm sure they are marking up, crossing out, commenting every single line that's possible. So even though it's probably very overwhelming, at the same time, I think it's so rewarding to be able to slow everything down, look at every word, every sentence, every paragraph, like with a lot more purpose. I think that's how a book like yours comes to life so well, because it is very well crafted through and through, which is, again, it's a testament to you and your editor and the work that you guys have put in.
My editor is a star. Like she is so amazing. She's worked on so many incredible books, and it's just, I feel so grateful to be able to work with her.
That's amazing. Can you tell us, besides some of the hobbies, and you said you love to just read, which is amazing. Can you tell us maybe, not necessarily hobbies, but like what are some things that you would do outside of the home with family? If let's say COVID wasn't here, what would be some of the things that you would traditionally do outside in the city, in other countries, if COVID wasn't around right now?
I mean, traveling is so big for us. That's been the hardest thing about this. We go on a lot of trips every year, even if it's just to like Palm Springs, which is like an hour and a half away. I love just seeing new places and eating at cool restaurants and exploring. So that's something I miss a lot.
I think that's a lot of people are saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's been hard to let it go. But I mean, other than that, I'm very much an indoor person.
I love me too.
Yeah.
Same.
I like I like to bake. I like to do crafts. I like to read. And that's how I spend most of my time. So traveling and seeing family has been the hardest things to lose right now.
Yeah. And do you have family in multiple, are they close by, or are they in just different states right now? Which makes it really...
My immediate family is very close. They're like 5-10 minutes away. They live in Long Beach too. So we've seen them as much as we're able to in a safe way. My mom is my best friend. I talk to her every day on the phone. And so it's been, just necessary to be able to still see them too. But all of my extended family, they're not too far, like they're like 30 minutes away, but we haven't been able to see them since March at this point. And that's been really hard. Yeah.
Wow. I can only imagine. Ms. Bryant, I'm not going to keep you any longer because I know that your weeks have been super crazy. I'm super appreciative of the time that you've spent with me today. But I want to ask you for one more thing. Why should people read your book?
Okay, this is hard to do, isn't it? I I think especially right now, we all just need like a dose of joy. It's each day just brings so much horrible news, so much depressing news, and it's fun to be able to escape for a little while into a joyful story. And I think my book is a joyful story. And there aren't enough narratives out there of Black people just living happy, joyful lives. And and I want to, through my work, I want to add to this new canon of stories. To have the entirety of the Black experience represented in our novels. And so I think if you want to read about an anxious and messy Black girl making a lot of mistakes and falling in love too, I think my book is the one for you.
I love it. And where can people find you online?
My website is EliseBryant.com, and then I'm on Instagram and Twitter as Elise Bryant.
And what about your book? Where can we find your book?
My book should be everywhere books are sold, all stores, and then Amazon and Target and Walmart.
Awesome. Thank you so much.